Here's a question for you. Why is it that in 2021, gay conversion therapy is still perfectly legal in the UK? Back in 2018, Theresa May vowed that gay conversion practices would be banned in the UK, but 3 years on, we're still waiting for that ban to be implemented. So what is gay conversion therapy? What does it involve? What's it all about? Broadly speaking, it is a treatment used to change a person's sexuality or gender identity. It is based on a very outdated assumption, and I emphasize assumption, there is no scientific, factual evidence to back it up, that being gay or being trans is a mental illness, and therefore it is something that can be cured, something that can be changed and rectified. Treatment options within gay conversion therapy vary, but they are obviously all unethical and all harmful. The most common forms of gay conversion therapy in the UK are counselling and intensive prayer, so that age-old stereotype of praying the gay away. More extreme forms of this therapy that still happen around the world and have happened in the UK are electroconvulsive therapy, physical violence, fasting, and in very extreme circumstances, corrective rape. Did you try and pray the gay away?
I don't understand.
Did you try and pray to be straight?
No.
Did you ever think about it?
No.
Would you think about it now?
No.
Okay, get out then. You're useless to this video. So some reporters went undercover in the UK in recent years, and they have found evangelical churches who have claimed that they are able to change a person's sexuality. These undercover reporters, and I quote, I'll put the article below this video, one was told to fast for 3 days, so to eat and drink nothing for 3 days as part of their treatment. Another said that they were subjected to hours of traumatizing counselling and prayer. So you can have a read of that below if you want to. We know that the effects of these kinds of treatment can cause lifelong harm, which can include, amongst many things, anxiety and depression, and in extreme circumstances, suicidal thoughts. Interestingly, the National LGBT Survey in the UK has found that 7% of UK LGBT people had been offered gay conversion therapy or corrective counselling at some point in their life. So in recent weeks, the UK government have spoken out again and said that their plans to ban gay conversion therapy will be brought forward shortly. Tick tock. Why is this taking so long? Why is this rumbling on year after year? Why is nothing being done? Because of religious freedoms. The fear underlying this ban is that restrictions on gay conversion therapy could end up criminalising Christians. I'm not entirely sure why the focus is always on Christians. I'm assuming it's predominantly churches that are offering gay conversion therapy, but the overwhelming focus in articles I've read is on Christianity as opposed to other faiths, for some reason. So here are a couple of articles I found. I'll put the links below, but I'll just read you out what is being said in them. And this one is from the Church Times. So they say that proposals as currently discussed could have the consequence of restricting individual freedom, potentially criminalising Christians and common church activities, and we would encourage the government to exercise caution. So they continue, for evangelical Christians, the teaching of the Bible is clear that sexual activity is restricted to monogamous marriage between one man and one woman. For Christians who hold on to this biblical teaching, it is essential that those who experience same-sex attraction are free to pursue and receive support to help them live in accordance with their beliefs. Then we have the Christian Post, who are trying to defend the therapeutic, I like this kind of very soft word, the therapeutic counselling kind of remedies offered, and they say, what is practiced in some therapeutic environments, often though not always religious, is talk therapy, where individuals who present with conflicting feelings or distress regarding their sexual attractions or gender confusion speak with a counsellor. So they're almost implying that people who are experiencing internalised homophobia need to be able to go to church counsellors to talk about it and seek help, which, you know, on the surface would sound great, wonderful, if counselling is needed and it can help. But we know that the teachings and the practices embedded within this counselling is not going to help. It's going to tell those people, it's going to reinforce the internalised homophobia and tell these people that how they feel, who they are, is sinful and wrong. They go on to say that there must also be room for the preaching of God's word and for believers to receive prayer and pastoral support, whatever temptations they are facing. A pastor or church should not face prosecution if a gay man or woman attends church, comes to faith, and seeks help in following Christ's teaching on sexual ethics. Well, we know that Jesus didn't say anything about gay people, but apparently that one goes out the window once again. So there's these underlying premises. One is of religious freedoms, one is of human rights. And as much as I want to see the gay conversion ban be implemented, I do think there is a point, a very small point to be had here in terms of human rights, but there are too many problems that surround it to allow it to kind of go forward as a legitimate argument. If somebody is gay, and genuinely is unhappy with that, genuinely feels that they can't live their life happily, contently, should they have the right to go forward and engage in these practices of therapy if they so want? You know, is this their human right? One could say yes, if somebody wants to do so, they should be able to do so. But we know that gay conversion therapy doesn't work, number one. So they'd be engaging with something that isn't going to help them. There is no help. And number two, they're going to have lifelong harmful consequences from it. Now, I would be all in favour of conversion therapy if this is what people genuinely want to do, but you have to offer it to all sexualities and genders. So if there was a straight conversion therapy, because I've met people in my lifetime who are heterosexual, and they sometimes said to me, oh, do you know what, Anna? I've always thought that I should have been gay because I act in this way and I think like this and I dress like this and I've got this really gay vibe to me. So why not let the straights go off and convert to gay? Why is nobody offering this service, I wonder? So if you want to implement straight conversion therapy, that's fine. Have all the conversion therapies out there. And if people want to choose to go and get their heads messed up through it, that's their human right and prerogative. I'm all for that. Fine, as long as it's equal. But the problem is it's not equal. It is this consistent message from religions that to be gay is to be evil, is to be mentally ill, is to be living in sin, and it must be changed. And this is what continues to be so upsetting and really screws up the lives of so many people. I think this practice is particularly harmful to young people. So if you are, you know, a 15-year-old Christian or Muslim and you know you're gay, you just know that's how it is, and you know that you're not going to be accepted by people in your religious community, perhaps by your family and close friends, how do you deal with that? Chances are you have to conceal it and hide it, and chances are you will buy into this concept of conversion therapy because you want to correct yourself, which is a ridiculous thing to say, but that's how it feels. You want to make yourself normal. You want to make yourself holy and righteous. When I was in my late teens and I was really struggling to accept the fact that I was gay, I did look up conversion therapy. I would have done anything. I would have paid any money. I would have probably fasted and goodness knows what, for whatever they would have told me to do at that age, I would have done, because I hated being gay. I didn't want to be gay. I just didn't feel that I would ever live a happy life. I was raised Catholic. I was very much a strong believer in my youth. I went to church every week. I prayed, you know, that was who I was. So to be gay did not fit with my wider ethos, I suppose, at the time. Fortunately, I didn't manage to find any gay conversion therapy courses, if that's the word, locally to me, so that never happened. But I look back and think, my gosh, imagine if that had happened. Imagine if I'd gone, how screwed up would that have made me? And I think religion is doing itself a great disservice. I know that the Bible, for example, I'm staying within the realm of Christianity because that's what I know because I was raised Christian. I know the Bible, Leviticus 20:13 says, if man lies with man, their blood shall be upon them, kill gay people. That's what it says in the Old Testament. It also says a lot of very wild things in the Old Testament. You can't wear mixed fabrics, you can't eat certain types of fish, you shouldn't walk on the cracks in the pavement, all kinds of very odd things that we seem to overlook, and we still seem to cling on to the gay thing and forget about everything else it says. But imagine if the church, instead of taking this kind of view, actually opened its arms and said, if you are gay, we love you. Come to Mass, come to church, come and pray with us. We are, your brothers and sisters, we will support you. It would change so much. And the Christian population, is diminishing. In this country anyway, secularism and atheism is growing. Perhaps it would be going in a different direction if the church was opening its arms. The church never opened its arms to me, the Catholic Church anyway, and as a response to that, I have done a lot of reading and a lot of soul searching over a very, very long time, and I have no place for religion in my life. I struggle to understand how gay people do have space for religion. I look at what most of the holy texts in most religions say, and it is abhorrent. Mostly to gay people, certainly, but also to women. And I look at myself and think, well, I'd be a bit of a fool to endorse these messages. That said, I know a lot of people who are strongly religious, Christian and Muslim, and they are gay or they are bisexual. and their faith is hugely important to them. And I think it's important to recognise that everyone has a different road to go down. But gay conversion therapy just does such a disservice to religions, to the church, and to the message of love it's meant to give. The message of Christianity is to love thy neighbour. Gay conversion therapy is to change thy neighbour. So we need to see radical change in the UK, and I really hope that the government do implement this sooner rather than later and stop dancing around the complexities. Oh, it's a very complex thing to do, it's a very complex language. It's not complex, they're just scared of the backlash, considering religious freedom. It needs to go, it needs to be binned, because if I live in a country where this is allowed, the government and the country is basically saying to me, you're mentally ill, you can be changed, you can choose to do this. So as I said earlier, unless they implement straight conversion therapy, gay conversion therapy has to go. I will pop a link to a petition about this below, so please do take a minute to sign it. And if you have any comments to add, please write them below the video. Thank you very much for listening.